Hello and welcome on this Valentine's Day. I'm here at Oceans of Grace Community Outreach Center where I normally teach yoga. And so I am going to do a simple yoga practice that you can use at home. And it is more of a practice for stress relief and to be used more as a kind of prayer, body prayer, or meditation. So just a couple words of intro. Yoga does come out of the Hindu tradition, and in our Christian tradition, because I'm a Lutheran pastor, we're going to be doing things using some Christian symbolism and imagery, as well as teaching you a little bit about Hinduism. The word yoga itself means yoke, like the yoke that holds two animals, oxen, together. Yoga is all about balance, about holding opposite parts of ourselves together in balance, so we have more harmony and peace within our bodies, minds, and spirits. Today we're going to do a simple Hatha practice. Now, Hatha yoga the word Hatha in Sanskrit means sun, ha, and moon, tha. Those are two opposite sides of ourselves. Our sun is the right side of our body and also sort of our masculine side. The tha is the left side of our body, or our moon side, our feminine side. So on this day, Valentine's Day, we're going to do a heart opening practice, and we're going to try to have a balance between sun and moon, between our masculine and our feminine, between our strength and our flexibility, trying to hold opposite parts of ourselves together in balance and harmony. So every yoga practice should begin in a seated position. So if you're at home and you can sit on the ground and cross your legs, that's excellent. You can put a little pillow or a cushion or a yoga block under you, because if your pelvis is tilted forward a little bit, you will be much more comfortable. If you're older and it's very difficult for you to get down on the floor, or if you're physically challenged in some way, you may sit in a chair. And another way you can sit in this opening portion is this way, just sitting on your hands and feet, this way. So we will start in yoga. You begin with your hands at your heart chakra, the energy center that comes from your heart. We're working on opening our hearts today in this practice. So we're going to begin with just a bow, which is namaste. And if you wish, you can even bow your forehead to the ground, kind of honoring the earth, your third eye, or your third eye chakra, also your heart. So we begin with namaste, which means the holy or sacred in me acknowledges the holy or sacred in you. So namaste. We're now going to open our hands slightly, even though they're at our heart chakra, because we hope that during this practice we open our hearts. And we're going to begin with an opening chant of Om. In Sanskrit, it's A-U-M. It stands for the first, middle, and last letter of the Sanskrit alphabet. So we are praying with this chant. We're chanting to the one who is our beginning, our middle, and our ending, our all in all, God. Okay, so we take a deep breath in. And now we will begin with a little music that is just to bring some calm and some peace. It's just quiet instrumental music as we do our practice. So we're going to start with, actually let's not start yet with the music. I want to do a little, before we do the music, we're actually going to do what's called Nadi Shodhana breathing, which is alternate nostril breathing. Now remember, our right side is masculine, our left side is feminine. And usually in the US, we are more of a masculine culture. So we focus more on our right side, our right hand, our masculine side. So today we're going to cover up our right nostril. And close your eyes and just breathe in deeply through your left nostril, nice and slow and deep. When you get to the top of the breath, just hold it for a second and then exhale. And the goal of this breathing exercise is to have your inhale and your exhale be of the same duration, and also to use both sides of our breathing equally. So again, we'll close our right nostril, we'll breathe in through our left nostril. Now close the left, let go of the right, exhale through the right. Now we're going to breathe in through the right, nice and slow. Hold at the top, switch hands. Now block the right, exhale through your left. So again, we'll do one more. Breathe in through your left. Hold at the top, switch hands. Exhale through your right. Breathe in through your right. Switch hands, so block your right now. Exhale through your left. Okay, now you can begin to breathe in slowly through both sides at once. Hold at the top and then exhale. Think we're going to take 5 slow breaths, and the word for breath in every language, the same word for breath means spirit. So in the Sanskrit of Hinduism, it's prana, it means breath and spirit. In Hebrew, our Judeo-Christian tradition, in Hebrew, it's ruach. In Greek, it's pneuma. Same word means breath and spirit. So as we breathe in, we think of the Spirit, the Holy Spirit breathing in us. And then as we exhale, we think of the Holy Spirit breathing out through us to bring that same peace that we find through this practice, to bring that peace out into the world. So let's begin nice and deep. Breath slowly, breathe slowly in. And then exhale. And do 4 more breaths at your own slow pace, thinking of spirit of life, breathe in me, and then breathe out from me into this world. 4 breaths, nice and slow, at your own pace. okay. Actually, people who just do breathing meditation itself, simple breathing meditation like that, experience lower heart rate. Your blood pressure goes down. It's good for you in so many ways. So we will now add a little music, and we're going to add some gentle movement. Again, you may do this from a chair if you're not able to get on the floor. So we're going to breathe in as we bring our hands up and follow our hands, with our gaze follows our hands. When we exhale, as we bring our hands down, let your head drop. Breathe in, nice and slow. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. And with each breath, as you breathe in, you can bring a little arch to your back. And then as you exhale, you can kind of round your back a little. So a little arch as we breathe in. And a little round as we exhale. We're now going to gather in towards our heart. And then we're going to exhale and open from our hearts. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see that as I draw in, I'm arching my back a little. I want to round it as I draw in, and then as I will arch it as I exhale and widen. So we gather in, and we exhale. We gather in, and we exhale. We breathe in, round, we exhale and arch. Once more. And now we're going to come into what's called wisdom or child's pose. And so if you sit on your heels, widen your knees, maybe the distance of your mat. Place your hands in front of you on the mat, your palms down, nice, every finger stretched out, your hands wide. And then very slowly lower down to your forehead. And that posture is called child's pose or wisdom pose. Now some folks are maybe are not flexible enough in your hips, and so your hips might be up in the air like this. That's okay. We all have our limitations to our own bodies, and the more you practice yoga, the more flexible you will become, and eventually you'll notice your hips have more flexibility, and you're able to bow down and prostrate yourself with your head, your forehead to the mat, and your hips on your heels. When we go into this posture, we offer a prayer of our heart to the one who is our beginning, our middle, and our ending. And it's a prayer for this practice. And in this practice, we pray that we will open our hearts more on this Valentine's Day. But you also may offer any prayer that is on your heart this day. We'll take a few moments breathing in child's pose, also called wisdom pose. Now we're going to come to our hands and our knees. And if you have knee trouble and you need to fold over your mat to give yourself an extra layer or put a blanket or a cushion under your knee, that's what all these props are for. You always can do what you need to do for your body. So from hands and knees, we're going to start by doing some gentle circles with our hips, circling them to the right and then back towards our heels, then to our left, and then forward, letting them fall towards the mat. Again to the right, back, to the left, let them fall forward. Another nice slow circle. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction, so to the left. And then circle around to the right, drop forward. And the last one. We're going to return to child's pose. Again, we're going to return to that prayer of our heart. Now, if you have socks on, as I do, because it's chilly in here, you may want to take them off because we're going to be eventually coming up and we don't want to slip. So back to hands and knees. We're going to extend our left leg and just kind of roll onto the ball of that foot, stretching out our calf and our foot. And then drop, bring that back to center and stretch out your right foot. And now we're going to do what's called cats and cows to bring some flexibility to our spines. And so when we do cows, we're going to arch our backs a little and gaze up at the moon. When we do cats, we're going to round our backs, as cats often do that. We're going to inhale as we look up at the moon, exhale as we do our cats. Okay? So we'll curl our toes under and we'll look up at the moon, inhaling. Drop to the tops of your feet, exhale, let your head fall, round your back. Inhale, look up at the moon. Exhale. exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now we're going to add some hands and feet, or arms and legs. We're going to bring that left knee toward our nose. That's rounding our back. We're going to exhale it, flexing our foot. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. Try lifting your right arm. This is a balance. And then try drawing that arm and knee together. And release. Draw them together. And release. One more. And release. And then return your hand and knee. Kind of wiggle out your hips a little. Now we'll draw our right knee in. And extend. Be sure to breathe in and out as you do this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe add your arm. Draw in. And out. In. And out. In. And out. Return everything to its place. And go back to our first side and maybe just get a little more advanced if you're up for it. So we're going to bring that left leg out and that right hand out. And you can either stay here in balance or you can grab that foot with that hand and stretch. And then release. Shake out those hips. We'll bring our left hand forward and our right leg will extend. You can stay here if you wish, or you can grab that foot with the hand, with that hand. And then let go of that. Wiggle your hips a little. We're going to return to child's pose, wisdom pose, and now you'll notice you're going a little more deeply into child's pose. I invite you to come back to hands and knees. And this time we're going to curl our toes under. And lifting from our core, we're going to go into down dog. And if this is too difficult for you, it's too much pressure on your shoulders or your wrists or your hands, you may stay right here on hands and knees. But if you want to try down dog, you lift from your core. Your body forms a kind of triangle. Think about your palms, your hands spread very wide on the top of the mat. Think about your chest pressing toward your thighs. You don't want to be like this over your hands. You want to be
reaching your chest toward your thighs. Bend one knee and then the other. Kind of pump your feet out, one knee bent at a time. You feel that in your calves. Feels wonderful. And there shouldn't be an excessive weight on your hands. In fact, you can lift a hand. You should be able to lift each of your hands. This is down dog. And then very slowly, walk your feet forward toward your hands. Keep them about shoulder distance apart. Keep a bend to your knees. And just be like a rag doll. This is called Uttanasana, forward fold. Sway back and forth like a rag doll. Nod your head, big yes, no. Open and close your jaw, your mouth, big and wide and closed. Release your jaw. And then very slowly, we're going to roll up. Standing, make sure you feel your feet, your toes spread nice and wide on the mat. Make sure you're in nice straight alignment. You want a slight pelvic tilt forward. Want your shoulders back. Want your head perfectly aligned over the rest of your body. Imagine a string from the top of your head lifting you towards the ceiling. Bring your hands to your heart. And this is mountain pose. Okay, we're now going to do some half sun salutations. We're going to breathe in. And as we do, we bring our arms up as we did when we were on the floor. Bringing a slight arch to your back. Pressing your pelvis forward, shoulders open, heart open. And so from here, we're going to swan dive and fold forward into that nice, comfortable forward fold, ragdoll, Uttanasana. Keep your knees slightly bent. This is actually excellent for your lower back. Breathe in as you reverse that swan dive. Bring your hands together in prayer posture above your head. Slight arch to your back. Pelvis press forward. Hands to heart. So we are greeting the new day, greeting the sun. We'll do 2 more of these. You breathe in. Little arch to your back. Exhale, swan dive. We're going to add on a tiny bit. I'll show you from the side. From Uttanasana with our knees bent and forward fold. We're going to place our hands on our shins. Straighten our backs and our legs as we breathe in. It's called halfway lift. Exhale. Reverse swan dive. Into the arch. Hands to heart. Again, we breathe in. Exhale. Halfway lift. Release. Reverse swan dive. Hands to heart. And it's all with breath. So we're breathing spirit in and breathing spirit out. Because we want to, so sun salutations are our right side of our body, our strength, our masculine side. It is a snowy day, there's a lot of snow lately. We're going to do moon salutations, which honor our feminine side, the moon or feminine part of ourselves. So, for moon salutations, you start at the top of your mat, but I'm going to face you at the beginning so you can see me. You bring your hands together and you come straight up, breathing in, little arch to the back, straight down with your hands into forward fold. I'll turn sideways so you can see. And do a halfway lift. We're going to release. And now we're going to bring that left foot back as far as we can on our mat. And we're going to drop our knee. So you're in a low lunge, your hips are going forward, you bring your hands forward and up and into a slight arch. You frame your foot, curl your toes under, you bring that foot back. Now you are in a push-up position. You drop your knees, you very slowly, keeping your rear end in the air, you very slowly keep your elbows in, lower down to your forehead, and then release everything to the mat. Come up into Sphinx pose. Breathe. Bring your forehead to the mat, curl your toes under. We're going to come into down dog. We're going to bring our left foot forward now to the top of the mat. And if it doesn't go all the way up there, just use your hands, scooch it up. I'm going to drop that right knee. So we're in a nice low lunge now on our other side. We bring our hands forward and up into a slight arch. Let your hands open. Frame your foot. Curl those toes under. Bring the right foot forward to meet your left. Come straight up the middle into a slight arch. Hands to heart. So that was one side of our body, our left side, our feminine side. Now we'll do our other side. So we'll breathe in. And come straight down into forward fold, Uttanasana. Hands on your shins, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees a little. Keep everything loose. Hands on the mat, bring your right foot back. Drop the knee. Lunge forward. Up and over. Frame the foot. Curl the toes. Place your hands down. Bring the front foot back. You're in push-up position. Drop your knees. Elbows in. Butt in the air. Slowly lower down to your forehead. Release everything to the mat. Come to your forearms.
This is Sphinx. Breathe in. Exhale, couple breaths here. Drop your forehead to the mat. Curl your toes under. Use your forearms or your elbows to kind of scoot yourself up. Hands come in front of you, so you're in basically hands and knees. Then you come from your core into down dog. You bring your right foot forward to the top of the mat. As I said, use your hand to help you get it up there. If it doesn't go on its own, it will eventually. Nice slow lunge. Reach forward, up, over. Frame the foot. Curl those toes under. Bring the rear foot forward to meet the front foot. Come straight up. And hands to heart. So that was one moon salutation. Now if we were doing a longer practice, we would do several of those and then several full sun salutations. And just that is such a good workout, really, in terms of just such a, I find my body just limbers with each asana, which is pose. Okay, so now that we're standing, we're going to do some of the famous warrior positions. And so we're going to start with warrior one. So if you come to the top of your mat, feet shoulder distance apart. You want both feet and both hips facing forward. And then you want to bring your left leg back at kind of a 45-degree angle. This is a gentle practice. If you're an advanced student, you can go deep here, but for most of us, about the height I'm doing it, not too deep. We're going to bring our hands straight up, shoulders back, gaze straight ahead. This is warrior one. Take a couple breaths here. Bring your hands together, namaste hands, bring them to your heart. We're going to adjust our feet into warrior two. So now our hips open. Our rear foot is parallel to our mat. Our front foot is open. Make sure your knee is turning out towards your pinky toe and not caving in towards your big toe, because that will cause knee trouble. Okay, so your hips are open. Again, if you have an advanced practice and you want to really go deep, be my guest. Front hand is out straight. Your gaze is right over your middle finger. You are a strong warrior. Your rear hand is kind of at the same height. And we're going to straighten our knee, our front leg, as we draw breath into our hearts, energy into our hearts. And we're going to exhale as we give that energy back out to others. We're going to draw in as we straighten our knee, leg. And exhale. Reaching out to others, extend in, exhale, one more, exhale. Now from here I invite you to straighten that front leg, kind of pick out this rear hip a little bit. And we're going to lean forward, 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 and just come into a high triangle unless you have an advanced practice. And then
you can go deeper. Now, if this is, some people find it too difficult, you can always use a block and put your hand on the block or something higher, but we are doing just a high triangle for today. And then we're going to imagine someone lifting us into 5-pointed star. Because this is all about opening our hearts, opening our whole selves to that heart energy, compassion for others, for this world, for ourselves. We're going to very gently lower into a high goddess posture. Then we're going to face the opposite end of our mat. So we're going to do a warrior one on this side now. So your front, both hips should be facing forward. Your front knee is bent. Your rear foot is at a 45-degree angle. You bring your arms up, but your shoulders should be sort of down and back. If it's too uncomfortable to have your arms up straight, you can always bring like your arms like goalposts, like this. And we're going to add circles. We're going to reach forward and bring our hands up and circle. And reach forward, breathing in and then exhaling. One more. We're going to bring our hands into Namaste at our hearts. We're going to adjust our feet into Warrior Two. So your rear foot is parallel to your mat, your front foot, your toes are facing straight ahead, your hips are open. Your arms are going to be kind of in a level posture. Your gaze is over your left hand, your fingers of your left hand. You are a strong warrior, able to get through all of the struggles and battles of this life victoriously. We do that by breathing in the Spirit's energy. So we're going to straighten that front leg and draw breath or Spirit into our hearts. And then exhale Spirit out to others. Breathe in, straighten that leg. Draw energy to your heart. Exhale. Compassion to others. Again, draw in. Exhale. One more. Going to straighten that front knee, kind of take that rear hip out a tad. Reach, reach, reach with that front hand until it falls into a nice open triangle. Then imagine someone lifting us from that top hand back into 5-pointed star. Our hearts are open, we shine with that light of a star. And we're going to just heel toe our feet together. We're going to do some standing balances. We're going to start with Vrksasana, which is tree. It's a balancing pose. Remember, yoga is all about balancing. So imagine your left leg is the trunk of a tree with roots going deeply into the earth. You bring your hands to your heart, and you can bring your right foot in as kind of a kickstand, standing tall and strong like a tree. Now, if you want to challenge yourself a little more, I suggest you find a drishti, which is a focal point, something that does not move, a spot on your wall or a piece of art or a tree outside, something. And then you can lift that foot to your calf, or you can lift it to your inner thigh. You don't want to put it on your knee. You can bring the branches of your tree wide. You can let them blow in the wind and keep the base of your tree solid as your branches are blowing around. You can bring them high, which is more challenging. These are all different stages of tree. Back to heart. And if you kind of fall out of a posture, say you're in tree and you fall out, you just go back in, okay? We're all human. I know when my life is out of balance, my balance postures tend to be more wobbly. If I'm not well rested, or I haven't eaten, or I'm tired or overworked, my balance is off, so that's a message to ourselves. We're now going to root through our right leg. Imagine that is the trunk of the tree. Hands to our hearts. It can be a kickstand. And if this is challenging or difficult, maybe stop it because I don't want to end yet. So we're coming to our end. I'm going to pause the music for a moment. But if this is challenging, stay here. If this is too easy, bring your foot to your calf. Again, find a focal point. If that's way too easy, you can bring your foot to your inner thigh. Whatever you do, just don't put it smack on your knee because you don't want to hurt your knee. You can bring your branches of your tree out. Once again, you can blow them around. Okay, you can bring them into a high treetop. Think of like a pine tree with the point facing upwards into the heavens. Vrksasana, tree pose. And then bring your hands back to your heart. And then release that. Kind of wiggle your hips, shake that out a little. We're now going to do our peak pose, which is a heart opening pose called dancer. And there's different levels to this and to every posture. So the first part is you take And if you need a wall or something, or a chair to hold on to, that's fine. But we're going to take our left foot in our hand, and this is sort of just a runner's stretch. So we're on our right foot, our right leg. We're holding our left foot with our left hand. We bring our right hand straight in front as like our focal point. Now you can stay here, or you can, keeping your upper body up, you press that foot into that hand, you lift your gaze. This is dancer. And then we come out of that. Now, some people I've seen, beautiful young yoga people, touch their head to their foot. We'll do that next week. We're going to go on our other side, okay? So we're going to do the right hand grasps the right foot. The left leg is our base, so should be rooted nice and strong. Left hand in front as our focal point. Okay, you can stay right here, or you can, keeping your upper body up, you can press that rear foot into that hand and come into Natarjasana or dancer on this side. Excellent. And now we're going to come back down to the floor. And we're going to get ready to close this simple practice with coming onto our backs and hugging our knees to our chests and sort of circling those knees to our right. It's like a nice free back massage. We're going to circle them to our left. We're going to do a couple bridge poses, which is feet are about shoulder distance apart. And imagine all the vertebrae in your back. We're going to start down near our tailbone. We're going to peel them off the mat. Slowly, 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 till we come into a little bit of a gentle back bend. I like to clasp my hands underneath. Your heart is open, your hips are pressing up towards the ceiling, your knees are pressing forward. This is bridge pose. Then you start up between your shoulder blades, unclasp your hands, and very slowly roll down your vertebrae onto the mat. We'll do one more bridge, okay? So we breathe in, heel up. And if you are an advanced student, you want to come into full back bend here, you may do so. Hearts are opened. Keep your knees and thighs sort of parallel, don't let them fly open. And then very slowly, starting up in between your shoulder blades, you put your vertebrae back on the mat. Bring your knees to your chest again, hug them. Circle around. We're coming to the close of our practice, and every practice should have an inversion, and that helps us to have a good stimulation, blood flow to our brains. And it also changes our perspective. So what you want for this final inversion is you just want your feet over your head. So you can simply do this, have your feet over your head. If you have a block or something and you want to just put the block under your hips and bring your feet over your head, or scooch your rear end against the wall and let your legs kind of lean and you're against the wall, that's fine. What I really love to do is I love to do shoulder stand. We do this all the time when we're little kids. And headstand is the king of yoga. Shoulder stand is the queen of yoga. So you just come into a shoulder stand. For several breaths. Sometimes you can try like touching down behind you. Or with both legs, that's plow. And then let your knees come by your ears. Slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. And we're going to do our final heart opening posture, which is fish. You make a fist with your left hand and put your palm side down under your left butt cheek, and a fist with your right under your right butt cheek, so your elbows are underneath you, your legs are out straight. And imagine someone lifting you from your chest towards the sun. This is called fish. Feels very good. And then remove your hands. If you have a blanket and you want to cover yourself, we're coming into Shavasana. If you have back issues, you need to put a pillow under your knees, do so. Shavasana is always the final posture of every yoga practice. It means corpse pose or total relaxation pose. And so as we lie here, we're going to listen to a blessing sung from the Kundalini yoga tradition. And now as you have released your body to the earth, I invite you to release the prayer of your heart into the hands of God. Bring a little movement back to your hands. Clench and release your, kind of wiggle your feet a little. Maybe draw those knees back to your chest and roll onto one side. Press yourself up into a seated posture. And today we will close with it's the Buddhist metta prayer. It's about opening our hearts. So we pray. May you be at peace. May your heart remain open. May you know the beauty of your true nature. May you be healed, made whole, and may you be part of the world's healing. Bring your hands to your third eye, to your heart, to the earth, to one another. Namaste. May the holy in me acknowledge the holy in you and in all living beings. Namaste. And happy Valentine's Day.